It's been almost 10 years since the start of the Flint water crisis, and the Flint community is still dealing with the lasting changes to this day.
Plus, how students at DHS are helping the environment one step at a time.
And spring sports are in full swing. We have the game rundowns. DTV News starts right now.
It has been 10 years since the start of the Flint water crisis, and our newly released documentary, Undrinkable 3: Resilience, covers the struggles, injustice, and future for the Flint people.
It all started with the flip of a switch on April 25th, 2014. The controversial decision to switch the city's source of water to the Flint River still haunts the city to this very day. The people have been pushed to the edge, but have not been afraid to fight back.
Through hardships and health struggles, one Flint family has become the definition of resilience. This is the story of the Mays family.
Melissa Mays and her 3 sons had their world flipped upside down back in 2015 when they received a letter in the mail.
I opened it up and there was a tiny little bunch of tiny print through this whole sheet, and it said for the previous 9 months, so the entire time we had switched to the Flint River, our water had been contaminated with cancer-causing disinfection byproducts.
The switch to the Flint River also exposed the family to high levels of lead. When consuming lead, it can cause many issues such as memory and hair loss, breathing troubles, weakened bones, and so much more. At the time of the exposure, Caleb was 15, Christian was 10, and Cole, the youngest, was 9. The Mays family noticed the effects right away.
Christian fell off his bike a few months prior, and his wrist shattered. His bones collapsed, and they couldn't understand why. He's a healthy kid. Cole had pneumonia in September of 2014, which now we know was most likely Legionnaire's, and he could have died.
While the lead levels continued to rise, so did the problems.
My oldest would forget the stuff he studied the night before, so he'd go take a quiz and completely blank on it. So we had to switch it to where we woke him up early to practice what he was taking a test over that day so it would be fresh in his mind.
It was summer, we all drank water. No idea. We honestly didn't even feel it until we started to. And by that point, at that point, I have no idea how bad it's going to get. As you can tell from my speech, my brain fog is still pretty hard. Had to relearn everything from scratch, and going through high school and college, not fun.
It wasn't just the kids that had health problems. Melissa's also took a fall.
Mom's having troubles with her heart. She's having troubles with her lungs. She needs a heart monitor now. She has cancer now. It's not something I'm ever going to forget.
With her family angry, sick, and scared, Melissa just couldn't sit there and let it be. She had to fight for what's right.
And that same kind of health degrade, that's when her voice got louder and louder and louder.
As a mother, I'm angry. As a mother, I'm afraid. But I'm also a fighter.
Melissa took a big stand and made sure the world knew what was happening in Flint. Soon, her face would be seen everywhere, with her sons by her side.
They should be playing coloring, but they're coloring protest signs, and then they're going to, to Washington, D.C., raiding buses overnight to go sit front row for the congressional hearings, so they could look at my kids' faces. This is who you've harmed.
The family took every step they could to help others not to drink the toxic water.
We had water drives and such, and most of that was just because we all came together and fought, right? We made it public and made it known that we're not just going to sit here and get fed bad water.
Melissa kept fighting and eventually testified before a congressional committee, despite the feeling amongst many that nothing could be done to create change.
And then there was the whole thing of we can't fight back against the government. It's oh, well, no, we are, and we're winning and pushing. And then, the community came together. It was amazing, and we got a new mayor in.
The press was all over the family story, too.
But we did get to go to the Emmys. A&E and Sony and Lifetime came together with Katie Couric to do a movie based on the first 18 months of our fight.
Through the fight, there were some inspirational moments for the family.
I met some great people going through this. Some people I aspired to be like. And I consider that a great victory in my part.
10 years later, Melissa is a well-known activist in not only Flint, but in the world. She still keeps the community updated on the crisis through her podcast, What Are You Fighting For?
Is Flint's water safe? I'm going to let you tell me this. If you had the best, highest quality water piped to you through this, would you drink it? Would you give it to your babies?
The Mays family never fails to keep fighting for justice for the Flint community.
It's hard, and it's a mix of every day. But that's why I get up and I still do this every day, because I'm furious and I feel like I've got to fix something so nobody else has to be me.
And Melissa's kids will be right behind her through this fight forever.
We're going to keep fighting, right? It's not going to be something that ends, because it's what needs to be done.
Families throughout the Flint community have been hurt by government. Their trust is gone. All charges in the Flint water investigation have been dropped. And there has been absolutely no justice seen. Before all the charges were dropped in the Flint water investigation, DTV confronted the Michigan Attorney General, Dana Nessel, about justice for Flint. And she walked away from a reporter with no answers.
Every aspect of your life will be impacted by whether or not you vote.
That perfectly transitions into the Flint water crisis. Do we have any updates on the investigation?
Not at this time, no.
Really? All right, so it's been 10 years. Do you think justice is going to be... All right.
The people of Flint are still awaiting justice in the civil courts as well. 2 years ago, the courts awarded the people over $625 million. As of right now, not $1 has been paid out.
Even though the Flint community still endures through the struggles of the Flint water crisis today, there are many positive programs that have come out of it. Pediatrician Dr. Mona Hanna Atisha continues to use her voice to help the people of Flint, and she has gone above and beyond to create lasting programs to further her support for the community and pave the pathway of change. RX Kids is the first citywide cash payment program for mothers and infants, aiming to reach all expectant mothers and infants in the city of Flint.
It turns out that when you grow up in a city that's poor, it's hard to be healthy and to be successful. And it turns out that Flint is actually the poorest city in our state. Our child poverty rate is about 70%. And that's not okay. We can do better. And that's what RX Kids is all about. It is about doing better.
This will give every new mom in Flint the freedom and flexibility to raise their babies and not worry about paying bills or putting food on the table. It helps give children in Flint a fair shot at a bright future.
For more helpful resources, fuller interviews from our documentary Undrinkable Through Resilience, and key moments from the water crisis, head to our website, dtvnews.org.
Art classes, along with several other students, kicked off the week by releasing 54 salmon into the Flint River. Mr. Kelsey and the students have been raising the salmon right here in the high school since November. The fish release is a part of a statewide program called Salmon in the Classroom. One of the goals is to help restore a thriving salmon population in Michigan rivers. This is a great opportunity for students to learn about their environment.
Well, I think they're learning to take care of elements of nature and maintain them. Then we talk about where we're releasing them here in the river, and we have those conversations about where is your watershed in your backyard? What are the sort of things that are happening in your yard that's going to end up in this waterway?
Davison's Red Carpet Themed Prom is just a week away. It will be on Saturday, April 27th at the Lafayette Grand in Pontiac. Buses will leave Davison High School at 5 p.m. sharp and will head from Pontiac at 10. They will arrive at the school around 11. Tickets are sold out, but students can sign up on the wait list. The season is starting to light up for the boys lacrosse team. Chayton has the rundown of last night's game and sports.
And I'm ready for this warm weather to come back just in time for prom. Caleb has your weekend forecast.
This injustice that happened to our children, this betrayal, this loss of trust, this worry, this anxiety, this guilt, this fear, all of that was part of the water crisis.
If you do wrong, then you should pay the price. That ruined a lot of people's lives.
All right, so it's been 10 years. Do you think justice is going to be...
They knew what they was doing when they switched. Really, it's people.
We have polluted the earth, the water, the air, and that's the way it is. For money.
It was all money. It's about money.
When they drop the tires, I feel so bad. I want to get my kids and grandkids all out the state of Michigan.
Yeah, this bad thing happened in Flint, but so many community agencies, moms and dads, and our kids have stepped up and say, we are not going to be defined by this crisis. We are going to be defined by what we do next.
Last night, the boys lacrosse team had another game hoping to go on a winning streak here at Cardinal Stadium. The Cards played here at home against the Warriors and dominated. The boys never lost the lead all game and ended up with a final score of 8-6 winning the game. Sawyer Jones, who had 5 goals for Davidson, says their team is finally starting to figure it out.
I think we got a rhythm finally. Like we had a lot of ups and downs, you know, not working as a team, but I think we came together finally and just started working as a team, getting our passes up and everything, and just got that grit, you know. Started laying out people and started having a good time.
The girls' lax team also faced off at home before the boys' game. They were taking on the #1 team in the SVL, Saginaw Heritage. The girls started the game off with a 1-1 tie, but the Hawks flew and the Cards couldn't catch up. The Davidson girls ended up losing the game at home with a final score of 10-4. Their record ended up dropping to 3-5-1, and they will face off again next week. The girls' tennis team also faced off with Saginaw Heritage, and the Cards had a similar outcome. Davidson took a rough loss 6-2 against the Hawks. However, the doubles team of Cindy Pandoran and Savannah Duncan, as well as Michaela Foltz and Ariana McCain, each won their second match in a row and are looking to extend their streak Thursday against Grand Blanc. Good luck against the Bobcats. The Cards went head-to-head against a great Midland team who had a 10-5 record going into this matchup. The first game Davidson played against the Chemics, they fought hard but lost 10-5. The Midland squad kept their momentum from Game 1 and rolled through Davidson 9-0 in Game 2. Their next game is this Thursday at 4 against Bay City Central, so good luck. Let's take a look at tonight's upcoming sports. At 4, both baseball and softball teams will be playing against Midland Dow, with the baseball squad being here at home and the softball team being in the Chargers territory. Also at 4, the Davidson track team will have an SVL meet at Cardinal Stadium. Later at 6, the girls lacrosse team will be facing Lake Orion in Dragon territory. And finally at 6:45, the girls soccer team will be up against Midland at home for an SVL matchup. Good luck to all of our Cardinal athletes. It looks like we are seeing some summer-like temps in Michigan. Is it finally time to get outside, Caleb?
While we are going to have some higher temps than what we've been used to for the past month, we are going to have some scattered storms coming our way. That's going to make it a little bit of a murky weekend for our Cardinals attending prom. As you take a look behind me, we have a pattern mostly sunny today. We have some beautiful weather outside right now going into the weekend. And then Monday, as you can see, we have some AM rain starting Saturday going into the weekend. And even Monday, we're going to have some scattered thunderstorms going here. But we're still going to stick in the high 70s, which is going to make it to where it's going to be a very humid weekend out. So be careful for those curls for prom. And then let's go take a look at our radar. As you can see behind me, I have that storm I was talking about earlier coming up our way towards Michigan. We're going to mainly get just kind of the outer edge of these storms coming our way, so we're going to get some of that rain, that thunderstorms that I mentioned, but it's going to be very humid for our Cardinals. And then as we take a look outside, as you can see behind me, it's a temp right now of 59. It's very clear, very sunny outside right now. Winds are pretty mild, only 11 miles per hour going east towards us, but it's mainly a nice day outside right now, so enjoy it while you can, Cardinals.
The past 10 years for the Flint community have been a roller coaster. Get caught up on all the corners of the crisis by checking out our website, dtvnews.org. There, you will find a tab for our latest documentary, Undrinkable 3: Resilience. Under it, we have links to all 3 of our Undrinkable documentaries covering the Flint water crisis over the last decade, as well as helpful links, full interviews, key water crisis moments, and additional content. You can also join in on the conversation by following us on our social media. A full list of our social medias are right there on our website, dtvnews.org. So prom's this weekend. What are you guys' plans? What color are you doing? What type of fun festivities you got going on?
I'm wearing all black for my last final senior prom.
Okay, classy.
We're all seniors. I'm doing purple. You copied me though. So.
Oh, but we're matching. I thought we were twins.
No, we're not twins.
Oh, okay.
That's crazy. Honestly, hot pink's the way to go.
Boo!
When you pop out, you're just like, you're the only person there at that point.
Well,
so you gotta be that one.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I'm excited
kidding.
for prom though. I'm super excited.
We are all super excited here at Davidson. That's gonna be it from us today. Have a great day, Davidson.